What's up, everybody? Black Nerd Planet. It's your boy Jordan, Carmichael, Four Eyes Malone. Got a special edition. I don't know what I really want to call it. Final Fantasy VII Remake conversation. My boy JayEsper, JayEsper TV on YouTube, Twitch. Check him out on there. He playing a lot of games, relaxing, chilling, doing cool playlists on his Twitch channel. Check him out. Let me ask my boy, what's up, man? How you feeling?
Man, we chilling. I'm happy to be a part of the Black Nerd podcast. Y'all already know what it
Hey.
do, man. It's your boy Esper. You know I'm coming with the energy, talking that Final Fantasy VII, and y'all know me. I be talking. I be
Hey,
talking.
that's what we need, man. We need it. I brought you in, man, because I know you hyped for the game, like you just expressed. I'm hyped for the game. I know you just
Yep.
played the original too on stream. You played that on stream too, didn't you?
Yep, sure did. We just finished that on stream. I want to say maybe 2 weeks ago or something like that.
Okay.
So that was a that was an experience, man. I felt like playing the original again. One, it really just reminded me of my love for Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
But playing it again too, it also taught me that like I'm ready for something new in this remake because the original holds up so well even in 2020.
You think so, man? That was gonna be one of my
I do.
questions to you about how, cause
Oh
I've
yeah, let's get
played
into it.
my history, cause I'll start like my history of Final Fantasy VII
Hmm.
specifically. I have played up to like I can't even remember exactly. Like I know, spoiler alert for people that don't know.
You're right, yeah, we're gonna be talking spoilers.
Like
So
I've never got to the point. It's gonna make me sound like a lame ass. Like I've never even got to the point where Aerith dies. Like I've
okay,
not
so
got
you
that far.
still
So I'm like
disc
super.
one.
Yeah, I still like
Mm-hmm.
this one area for whatever
Mm-hmm.
reason. Like because when I was a kid, I don't know if you remember like them demo discs back in the day, but
Yeah.
back in the what was that '97 whatever when it came out. Pizza Hut demo, some shit like that. But
Yeah. Yep. Yeah,
and I
yeah, yeah.
had the
I heard
demo,
about it. Yeah.
and I remember getting it, and I was like, man, I don't understand this game. Like the just if you did you
Mm-hmm.
like kind of how the new demo does, where it's just the beginning. And I was like, man, I
Yeah.
don't understand where I'm going or nothing like that. But then I got it on the Vita because you can get all the games on there, so I started
Yep.
playing on there. But in my mind, I was down there to a point of like, man, is this mug too old now? You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, it's still
Yeah.
you can still play it, but I'm still like it's a little dated in some spots. And I'm like, man, I kind of want to play some new stuff.
And you know
But
what? That's go ahead.
no, you good, you good.
That's I was actually gonna say like I that doesn't really make you sound lame because like I somewhat agree with you. So what I mean by the game still holds up, but for me, it's really hard for me to trug through the beginning parts of the game.
Yeah,
I think for me, I think Final Fantasy VII picks up really around the time it's leading up to Aerith's death.
yeah,
Around there is when the game really picks up, and I'm really like, oh, I want to play more of this. Oh, I'm on the edge of my seat. Oh, I can't wait to do this. Da da da. But during the beginning, where you're going around getting all the party members, stuff like that, it's hard for me to get through that part. Like
yeah.
this is my second playthrough of the game fully, but I've tried to play through the game multiple times, and every time I just get kind of
Kind of
I
bogged
don't want to
down.
say bored, but yeah, I'm just kind of like, nah, I'll just play this later because it's
Mm-hmm.
not bad, but it's definitely something. I don't know, like after you experience that beginning part once, it's like okay, but once you lead up to Eris's death, I think that's when the game really picks up. So no, by no means at all. Like do I think that's like lame or nothing like that? I think that's a sentiment that a very cult number of people have that maybe
Mm-hmm.
not many people will say. One thing I do want to note, just for the people out there viewing and listening and stuff like that, I didn't first. So I'm 23. I was born in '96. FF7 came out in '97.
Yeah.
I didn't play
I forgot
FF7
how
till
young you was for a minute. I was like,
yeah,
I'm talking about this
yeah,
demo. I'm like, shoot, he probably wasn't
yeah,
even
yeah, yeah,
around, boy.
yeah. That's why I said I heard of it, but I ain't never played it. I never played FF7 until 2015, 2016. And
Okay.
there's a video where I made where it was talking about my experience and how it was, and it's still my favorite games of all time. So that's why I'm saying for me, I will still say the game still holds up because for a young buck like myself who
Mm-hmm.
didn't play the game till so later on in the years for it to still have the impact like it did for me, um, I
Yeah,
would
that
still
means
always say the
something.
game holds up. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But how are you feeling about? I guess I would say the remake then, since you're more coming in with a fresh mindset. Do you know the story of FF7?
I know it to a degree of like I know the story, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
also my memory is weird about stories in a way where like I can from what I've heard from other people and what I've played, I understand the point of it, but I don't
Mm-hmm.
necessarily know how it ends either, which is I guess cool, but also weird because we're not even gonna technically see the end of Final Fantasy VII
Yeah.
with this remake, which is confusing.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So,
Um,
do you know the plot twist?
yes, if I'm thinking of what you're
Okay.
saying here,
Okay.
I believe it
What do you
is. I
think of what
think
I'm
it's a
saying? Go
think
ahead.
it's a C word, and it might not be. But that's what I'm thinking of.
Okay.
Is
Okay.
that correct?
I don't know. What do you mean? What do you think? I played and beat the games. You can just tell me. And
Like
what
I
do you
thought it
think?
had. Well, I mean, the Aerith thing isn't even like a twist, but I felt like I think it has something to do with clones or something, or the fact that like Strife isn't who he thinks he is, something
Okay.
like
Yeah,
that.
you do know the plot twist. Yeah. Okay
Yeah,
then.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that,
yeah. That's like the big like whoa. I'm in FF7 where it was like, oh damn, Cloud didn't even know who he thought he was. Okay, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so you know, so you okay, okay. So it's not like you're coming in completely 100% blind.
Yeah, I'm not like super blind on it, which is why, one, having somebody like you that's played through it and is excited for the remake,
Mm-hmm.
hearing your opinion back. Because me, I'm in like this weird space, even with just Final
Right.
Fantasy in general, because I've played. I played 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, and like a couple of the older ones like 6 and stuff, like, a little bit. I played 10 the
Mm-hmm.
most out of all of them. Um, so it's gonna be interesting to see. Like I still want to go through the first one, but now it's just like, damn, do I really want to at this point? Like, am I gonna want to
Yep.
go? But it's like it's almost two
Right.
different games because of the style.
It's 100% gonna feel like a whole new game, story wise, and everything too. But the thing is, what it is gonna feel like a new game. But I would also say for people like you that haven't played the original, like you really still gonna be experiencing like kind of the same feelings because Square Enix has been very vocal about we are keeping all the original stuff. It's gonna be in there,
Mm-hmm.
but we adding some more.
Yeah, a little
And I
more
think,
meat to it.
yeah, the biggest change that we're seeing in this one though, so far of what we know, because the game isn't out yet, but from what we've seen from trailers and stuff, Sephiroth is appearing more earlier than he
Mm-hmm.
did in the original.
Yeah, that's
That's one
something
thing
I
that we're
did pick
noticing.
up on for
Yeah,
sure. That and
yeah,
even Shinra kind of being. I mean, they were there, but like
yeah.
the appearance of them is a little more out
Yeah,
there and early.
yeah, they're showing them way more in this and stuff like that. That's the only ones we could see from the trailer and everything like that. But you know something I feel passionate about, but got to get into.
What is
I want
that,
your
man?
honest opinion. The game being separated into different games.
I feel like I don't I can't remember exactly how they brought it up to the people because it was like at least
Hmm.
a year and it was over a year ago when they said it. I like over a year and a half at least
Yeah, yep, I
because
remember that.
when they initially announced they're doing the remake, I can't remember the team that was working on it, but they took it from them and then Square was like, "Nah, we doing this now
We're
because
doing.
y'all ain't
Mm-hmm.
doing it right."
We're
So
doing it right. Yep,
I don't
yep.
know if it was more so like a time issue or it was a we want to expand it so much that we feel like I mean one is kind of a money thing because they gonna
Right.
probably it's probably gonna be a 3-piece situation and
Mm-hmm.
also
Mm-hmm.
it's a situation where maybe they were like okay so if we want to do it by this time and keep it within like this lineage of consoles and stuff, we might have to do it this way. You know what I mean? There's a lot of scenarios they
Mm-hmm.
could probably throw out there. I'm more so on the point of it being the positive side is looking at like, oh, let's expand this world like you were saying. The first, the part
Yep.
which they're with them not calling it part one and stuff like that is the most alarming thing. Or them saying like Midgar or whatever like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm not mad at it to really answer the question. You know what I'm saying?
I
I'm not
agree.
mad
Yep.
because seeing the
Not at
details
all.
fine. I know one of my friends, he's a little worried. He's thinking it's not gonna be that long of a game. and I'm thinking it's gonna be in like the 25-hour region.
That's kind of where I'm at. That's kind of where I'm at. Yeah, I think it'll be around the 25-hour region, if not more. I remember some reports were predicting it would be even more if you're trying to do like the side stuff. But no, man, I'm with you. My thing is like when, and I'm not in the gaming industry or anything like that, but I'm pretty sure like when they come and they say, "Hey, we're gonna make the Final Fantasy VII remake," there's a time limit for when you got to
Mm-hmm.
have that game done.
Yeah.
And when a game gets delayed, you gotta like that's like a decision between like a lot of people. That's not
Mm-hmm.
just a oh we need more time, delay the game.
Yeah.
Like that's a decision. You know what I mean? And Square Enix came out. What was it? It was like last week, maybe a week and a half ago. The producer came out and was like, "Look, the reason why it's multiple games is because if we were to do this as one big game, we would have had to cut things out. We would have had to cut corners and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. And with a game like FF7, you can't do that.
Yeah, you can't,
You cannot
especially
do that,
even
bro.
them adding on things. I
Right,
wonder the stuff that they may have kind of taken out in a way. You know what I'm saying?
right.
But what's funny about even the pre-release of this game, in which it's already out in some regions now, but the
Mm-hmm.
pre-release of it is that they've shown a lot of spoilers in the trailers. So it's almost kind of like, are they saying that you already know what's going on, or are
Mm-hmm.
they saying like, shit, we gonna sell 3-4 million copies anyway, so we might as well we
Oh
can show.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I
Oh
wonder what
yeah.
the mindset on that was.
Um, I mean, I've been quoted saying this multiple times. Square Enix knows that a good number of people buying this game have played the original
Yeah.
for sure.
Even the people
Um,
that think that are kind of like, I don't know if I want to play it, you know what I'm saying, kind of on the
yep,
negative
yep.
Nancy side about it.
Yeah, they're still gonna buy it. And I think Square also knows there's going to be a good number of people coming in that maybe haven't experienced Final Fantasy VII.
Mm-hmm.
Um, as far as the marketing goes for the game, I would say Square's doing a good job with the marketing. Though I know the final trailer they said that it spoiled some stuff. I watched the
Yeah.
final trailer once. I didn't catch the
Yeah, I
spoiler
haven't watched the
or nothing
final
like
trailer.
that.
I was like,
So.
I'm good. I watched all the other ones except this last one.
Yeah, so I guess don't watch it. I watched it. I didn't catch the spoiler, but I'm not watching it again because I don't want to see no
Mm-hmm.
shit and it gets spoiled and everything like that. But back to the multiple games. One of my concerns with it though was that I want it to be maybe 3 games at most. If Square gives me
Yeah.
like a fourth game, anything four and beyond, I'm gonna be like, come on now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't want the game to be rushed, but at the same time, when you're releasing a game like FF7 Remake in parts, it is like, okay, we get this part. Are we gonna have to wait 2 years to get the next?
Yeah, and that's and definitely even right now, we're kind of in a weird situation because they already delayed it to for what it was supposed to come out March,
Yeah,
which I
like
think
March
I'm pretty
something.
sure March was the only date they ever gave until the April 10th release.
It was, yeah, it
So
was.
luckily they're able to get it out with all this shit going on in the world still. You know
Oh
what I
yeah,
mean? So now
oh
with
yeah,
everything going on, there's gonna be some kind of delay in that.
yeah,
And you're looking at PS5 coming out, Series X coming out, and it's
yep,
already coming out on Xbox next year. So they
yep.
waiting on that. And then, PC, whatever, I don't know when that's happening, but I think probably next year too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're not seeing another one for at least another 2.5, 3 years because I don't think
Yeah,
they've said about development on the next parts like yet. But
no,
obviously they have to have
they're
it mapped
working
out.
on it. Yeah, they're
Yeah,
working on the next part, but that's all we know. They just say Square Enix is hard at work on the second game. And that's the part that is only like the negative for me. Um, as someone that has played the original, for me, I feel like it's just like, damn, like I just finished this part. It's like, damn, I gotta wait to go through the rest of my story. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm,
Um, same for I feel like people who maybe haven't played the original will be okay because it'll just be like playing a game with a cliffhanger and then you get the sequel.
yeah,
You know what I mean? As for me, like I know what's coming up next. You know what I mean? It's like a carrot in front of my face. Um, but a similar way that Square Enix is doing this is with so one of my favorite games of all time is the Dot Hack series. I don't know
Okay.
if you heard of the Dot Hack
Yeah,
series
yeah,
or
yeah.
anything like that.
Never
Yeah.
played it. I have one, but
But
I
you know
ain't
of it?
played it. Yeah.
Yeah. The Dot Hack series is my favorite game of all time. There's Infection, Mutation, Outbreak, Quarantine, and then there's the GU series where there's Rebirth, Reminisce, and Redemption.
Mm-hmm.
Now the way that those games work is that the game is so let's go with the original series: Infection, Mutation, Outbreak, Quarantine. The story for those four games is one story. It's one story.
Mm-hmm.
But the game is it's like anime episodes. So after you finish one game, it leads you off on like a cliffhanger, and then you boot up the second one, which is a whole other separate game. You boot up the second one and you load in your save data from the first one. So you get all your items, all your equipment, all that stuff is back on is on you and stuff like that. And then you go through the second one. Then we beat the second one. You know what I'm saying? You get your third
Yeah.
like that. Square Enix, look, is probably gonna do something um like that.
Okay.
Is probably it. Something I did talk about. Um, you guys will see this soon. In a video that I'm currently working on. So, but the video I'm pretty much talking about DLC.
Yeah, and that was something I was just about to ask you too. If there's gonna, what do you think DLC is gonna be like, if there is any?
So there's there's a couple things with this. So the DLC can be either they're gonna release the rest of the game that way through DLC,
Yeah.
which is possible. We've seen it with The Witcher 3.
Mm-hmm.
The Witcher 3 came out with two big DLC packs, just as big as The Witcher 2.
Yeah.
So that's possible, Square. That's very much possible. Um, Another way they could do it is they could do $30 DLC, half the price of the game, but you get that other part of the story, $30. Or we're just not gonna get any DLC at all besides new like game, like a new game mode or a new like
Yeah.
summon materia and stuff like
Costumes
that.
and stuff.
Which is probably the more likely one. Which is probably the more likely
Mm-hmm.
answer.
Yeah, I in my mind, I feel like if they were to just put it out, that's it. Wait for part two, and it's gonna be another $60 or whatever games are gonna cost in the next few
Mm-hmm.
years. I feel like that's gonna be better perceived than doing like the DLC route. You know what I mean? Because then you're kind of,
Yeah.
how are they gonna price each one? You know, they put themselves in
Right.
kind of a situation where it's like, okay, they could, fuck around. Because especially since they've never said anything about how they're breaking it down, they could be
Right.
like, we're gonna give you this next little world for 20, but then this other
Yep.
one might be 15. This one might be 30.
Yep.
You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? You never really know how
Yep.
that's gonna work. So and Square already has a little bit of like good and bad faith with fans. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like what,
Mm-hmm.
and you talking about earlier, even everybody waited so long for Kingdom Hearts 3 and Final Fantasy 15. It's like they can't. I mean, they can afford to delay some stuff, but they gotta know like people are kind of sick of this shit. Like at a certain
Yeah.
point.
People are done with all the delays and stuff like that. And keep in mind, like Square Enix is my favorite gaming company. They make some of my favorite games. Tetsuya Nomura is probably my favorite game director.
Mm-hmm.
I always this Nomura has not put anything out bad with me in terms of Kingdom Hearts and in terms of Final Fantasy. I like him. He's one of, like, if I had to choose a favorite game director, it'd probably be Nomura at this point in time. But I do have the issue with the constant development hell, the
Yeah.
delays, the this, that, all, and the other. It's like me as a fan, I'm sick of it. You know what I mean? It's like, come on. And I was even worried with FF7 Remake. I was like, man, they gave us the March date, delayed till April. I said, okay, I'm gonna give you this, Square. You know what I mean? I'm gonna give you because it was less than, it wasn't even like a full month or something like that, or it was like a month
Yeah.
delay. I was like, I'll give you that, Square. If they were to delay it again in April, then I would have been like, come on now,
Yeah, I can
like what's
see
going
that.
on? You know
Um,
what I'm saying?
Getting into more of like what we have played, since we haven't played the actual game, we just played the demo. What did you think about the new battle style, with it being more closely related in battle style to like Crisis Core and Kingdom Hearts in a way? You know what I'm saying? Action RPG system. How they're using material. Not, they don't even really show you materia as much in that, but the mana system, ATB, and all that.
Yeah. I liked it. You beat the demo, right?
Yeah, I played it
Uh,
twice.
I liked it. I played it once. You might have to correct me on a few things, but I really like the combat. You know, Kingdom Hearts is one of my favorite games too. And this
Mm-hmm.
game, it's kind of like Kingdom, but it's really different than Kingdom Hearts. But you could say it's similar in terms of you have your one attack button and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But um, and I haven't even played Crisis Core. I played like 15 minutes of Crisis Core and that was it. But
Okay.
I really like the combat system. It's it works. It's fluid. I really
Yeah.
like how switching between the different characters, it really feel like you playing as a different character.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I love. I love that. It's like, man, when I was playing as Cloud, doing his two modes, now I'll switch to Barrett, and I'm like, feel
Mm-hmm.
like I'm dancing and taking. So man, it feels really good. It feels really smooth. I
Yeah.
love the ATB gauge because the thing is, you gotta think about your move. Like it's not a button masher. It's like okay, this enemy is weak to fire materia. Oh
Uh-huh.
wait, hold up, I don't got no ATB to use materia. You know what I mean? Damn, I
Yeah.
gotta heal. I don't got no ATB to heal. You know what I mean? So it's really good at having you think about your movements without slowing down the pace of the game. Because you
Yeah.
have no ATB, you can still attack.
I definitely agree with that. I definitely agree with that because when I played it, the demo the first time, like the day it came out, whatever, like was
Yeah.
like a month ago now. I was kind of like fumbling around. I'm like, damn, what the fuck? Like I'm kind of lacking with this, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, all right, I got through it. I'm like, that was cool, and I saw people online kind of be like, I don't know, man, it's kind of weird, man.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
then I was like, about to talk to my boy on this thing. I'm like, I need to freshen up on what I played. And I was, doing it again. I was skipping the cutscenes, so I was like, I don't need to see the cutscenes as much.
Right.
But I was just like, damn, like it really is fluid. Like if you really kind of figure out that, in a lot of RPGs, you're like, all right, how am I gonna use my mana in a way to be aggressive,
Correct.
but I gotta
Mm-hmm.
conserve it. You know what I'm saying? If
Yep.
I'm gonna use cure enough, or if I'm gonna use these potions enough. But from the demo, at least to me, it seems like they want you to be aggressively strategic. Like they want
Yes.
you to go in there
Yes.
attacking with Cloud. With Cloud, you get the operator mode, Punisher mode with the triangle
Yeah.
button. So they're kind of like,
Yeah.
okay, figure out how to do the stagger. And this is where it kind of goes into the crisis core situation, where and how they have it set up where it's square, tapping square,
Mm-hmm.
press X to go to the menu, spells, abilities, items,
Right.
stuff like
Right.
that. So the way they set it up, it seems kind of like, okay, this is simple, but it's simple for a reason because it's layered underneath that. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
when you even in that demo, which really is only like 30 minutes if you're kind of, paying attention to what you're doing. And like you said,
Oh yeah.
switching between Barrett and stuff, you figure out, okay, I'm gonna shoot this fire at this guy. And they tell you, like you just said, you shoot fire at this guy, down, weaken him, stagger him, whatever.
Yep.
Hit him with the Punisher mode, heavy
Yep.
attack, switch back and forth. So it definitely is gonna make you kind of think like, all right, how am I gonna get out of this fast enough? Because they kind of mob on you too with the enemies in there. Like they
Oh
wasn't
yeah.
shy about coming at
Oh
you.
yeah. They wasn't the this is not gonna be an easy game.
Yeah, it doesn't seem that way.
Nah. Not at all. It's not gonna be an easy game, man. When I was at the final fight of the demo, that boss you fight, I was like, oh shit, like
Yeah,
it's
they
kind of
kind of
hard.
threw
You know
that
what I mean? I
at you.
almost died.
Yeah.
Hold up. You know what I mean? It's like you can't just go in there just button mashing, man. You really
Mm-hmm.
gotta think about your moves, and that's something I really like in my JRPGs. I really like having to think about what I gotta do, not necessarily grinding and getting levels,
Yeah.
because that's important. But I think more so like I like the games where it's like, okay, I'm the appropriate level. I mean, I got all the items I need, but I'm still losing. Like
Mm-hmm.
you gotta think, okay, he weak to this, gotta go in and do this and do this and do that. So that's what I like in my RPGs. Um uh the game too, I realized in the demo, and I played the demo on a 1080p TV PlayStation Pro,
Okay.
and it looked amazing.
Yeah, I'm on the Pro too. I'm like kind of 4K. I don't know. It's hard to tell
Mhm.
sometimes. It says I'm 4K. Fuck it, but
Yeah,
but
right.
it looks good though. Like and even just the in motion, it looks good. You know what I'm saying? That's one of those things that you all,
Yeah.
especially in a game like this, like I didn't ever feel like, oh, that looks kind of choppy or that kind of looks weird right
Mm-hmm.
there. And once
Mm-hmm.
again, it's a sample size, but you know, it to me, I'm not really thinking like, you know, back in the day, you look at the not still capture, well, pre-rendered like um videos and stuff or trailers for like Final Fantasy. You like, man, I wish it looked like that. You know what I'm saying? Now
Yep.
it's like it isn't the same way, but now it's like, damn, I'm not really tripping about this trailer or the cutscene looking one way and then the gameplay looking
No,
totally
not at
different.
all. It all looked so fluid. It all looked like the same. And that's like that's what's crazy to me is that like it looks like everybody already talked about how they want Final Fantasy VII to come out with a remake that looked like Advent Children.
Yeah,
And it's like
that's
we
definitely
close.
a dream. Like right there, Advent Children did
Yeah,
look good back then.
Advent Children looked amazing. So it's like we're finally like getting that and it's really cool and I love how all the characters still look like them. You know, the biggest
Even
thing
with the
was
tweaks.
yeah, even with the tweaks, like the biggest thing was with Cloud, you know what I mean? Like cuz Cloud Cloud has Mako poisoning, right? And so he like Cloud he's a soldier but he's poisoned like he's still like sick in a way.
Yeah,
You know, and like I didn't want them to have Cloud look all like bulky and buff and lifting
yeah,
his sword. Like he's supposed to look like skinny. He's supposed to be like skinny, kind of like pale. You know what I mean? And they nailed that with this. And that was something I was like, I didn't even think they're gonna pay attention to that. I thought that was like something that like I was weird for like hoping
yeah.
that they
Thinking
did
about
that,
that,
like a
yeah.
little thing. Yeah, but I was like, no, they really paid attention. Like they really saw how like he's supposed to be sick. He's supposed to be like this skinny guy, you know what I mean, with the big old sword
Yeah,
and everything like that. And they pay attention to
but
that. Barrett looking like, Mr. T buff, got
that
the
was
tattoo, the thing. Man.
something I was gonna say too with Barrett. Like, cause when you look at the original, he kind of
Mm-hmm.
looks, in a way, he kind of just looks like a caricature in some respects. You know what I mean?
Right,
And I feel
right.
like they put a lot more, using word again, respect on him looking credible and not just kind of looking like this
Mm-hmm.
big black dude that's talking
Yep.
shit. You know what I mean? Like he
Yep.
looks like
Yeah,
he
yeah,
actually
yeah.
means business in a cool way. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't feel offended damn near like
You're
I
right.
kind of
Yeah,
am
yeah,
with the
yeah.
original Barrett.
Like
Uh,
he just like he's big, like you said, he look like he mean business. You know what I mean? Everybody is still everybody's still them. That's what I like. They didn't like so far try to like change any character's personality
yeah, take that essence
drastically.
out of him.
Yeah, they still kept everybody as them. One of the characters that really shined in the demo for me was actually Jesse.
Yeah, and that was about to ask you about her because they put a lot more detail just in those
Mm-hmm.
characters in the beginning. Even
Mm-hmm.
Cloud too. Like you kind of, I felt way more attached to those characters like from that demo. I was like, okay, I actually feel like something's going on right now.
Yep.
Like them
Yep.
going back and forth and the situation at hand. And I'm like, all right, Cloud is, he's kind of like, whatever, man. I'm just here to do this job,
Yeah.
bro.
He
Like,
did
you know what
his
I'm saying?
job. Yep.
So I definitely felt way more attached to, like you say, even Jesse and stuff, where they put character into those characters.
They sure did, man. She was over here like like flirting with Cloud and everything like that. Which she kind of did in the original bit, but they like upped it more in
Mm-hmm.
this one, which is like interesting to see. And they even Biggs and Wedge, just seeing them come to life and really have more of a of a personality, I would
Mm-hmm.
say. When which is good because again, spoiler alert, they end up dying in the
Oh
original.
God.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, did you get to that part where they end
I'm
up dying?
pretty sure it's been so
Yeah,
long since I've like played
yeah,
those hours. So
yeah. They end up dying, and I think we actually see that here in yeah, we see it. We'll see it in this game. Yeah, because this game
yeah.
goes up to Red 13. Yeah, we'll see it in this game. They end up dying, which is I think in this game is definitely gonna hit more.
Mm-hmm.
Because of how brought to life that they made them, man. Like, man,
So you
it's
ready?
just I'm so ready. I'm so excited. I guess the question stands though is that like so you have kids, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
got kids. So I guess the question stands is like, is this remake gonna be the standard for like, like your kids, or even when I have kids, like my
Mm-hmm.
kids? You know what I mean? Because like right now, it's like original FF7. What I mean, was big. It shocked the world. I consider one of the greatest games of all time. Is this remake aiming to do that same thing?
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm wondering, like when your kids, um, if they play video games now or when they get older and start playing video games, like, is this the game that they're going to be hearing about? Like, oh, that FF7 remake was a classic when it dropped, man.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, is that what Square's aiming to do, or do you think Square is more so just aiming to be like, you know what, y'all wanted this remake, here y'all go?
Yeah, I feel like it was a mixture of they know how popular it is,
Right.
and in the times we are at where graphics and production value and all those elements kind of are hidden at the same time where we're getting a
Yep.
lot more remasters and remakes, and they're kind of like, okay, we can go back to something that
Uh
people
huh.
love. But
Loved.
even with them putting in them putting in the new battle system, tweaking how they operate that, action
Mm-hmm.
RPG elements, which Final Fantasy's been tweaking with that. Even like Final Fantasy 15 with that system they had in there, which I forgot to mention. I played that one too earlier, but
15.
yeah, um,
I love that game. So
yeah, I like it a lot. Even though it seems like not a lot of people do, but we talk about that later.
yeah, yeah.
Um, but with them going back and kind of being like, okay, we can freshen this up in a way that I don't think I don't think they're going to they're striving for it to be like a revolution as much as they're just gonna show that this can be not to like modernized in a sense. You know what I mean? To
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and without being like a cash grab, which it is because it's Final Fantasy VII,
Of
but
course. Yeah. Of course.
it seems like, especially with them actually being like, okay, we're gonna take this from that other production studio and be like, okay, let's put this in our hands and actually do the right thing with it, because
Right.
we don't know what we would have saw if with the reports came out from the original situation. You know what I mean? We might be talking
Yep.
about some
Yep.
trash right now. So
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. I think. I think that for some kids, the remake might be more their speed.
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? The original,
Exactly.
it might just not look graphically. It might just be like, I don't even want to touch it. So
Exactly.
remake might more be their speed, but I definitely think that Square's just coming out and being like, man, y'all wanted this remake, so we gonna give it to y'all. And I think Square, like you said, there's a lot of remasters and remakes coming out. I think Square's kind of coming out and being like, we about to blow up the whole remaster and remake scene.
mm-hmm.
This is probably the biggest like remaster slash remake of a game. Like the only
No,
game I
I
could think
definitely.
that would probably compare to this if they remastered it is Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, that would.
Um,
They don't get me started, man.
yeah, like that's the only thing I could think of. But I mean, this is like Square's coming in with the big guns on this, like with the remaster or remake,
Uh-huh.
rather coming in and being like, man, y'all want the remake? They shutting up everybody in the remake game, man, for real.
Yeah, and it definitely lends itself to. I mean, one, the internet is the internet, but coming
Right,
in a week or two, I'm really curious to see like what or how people are feeling about it, because it seems like it's a
right,
positive. It's a more positive than negative. But once the masses get to it, like, what are those like critiques gonna look like? Is it gonna be about the story
mm-hmm.
and what they did? Is it gonna be about the gameplay? Is it just gonna be about the characters, or is it just gonna be one
Yeah,
of those like nitpicky things that people want to do? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I agree. That we're definitely having more positive than negative right now for it, but that's a lot of like critics, and I personally, I think some critics are paid off to review a game well.
conspiracy.
Yeah, like I think a lot of the people can get paid to review the game well, but I think overall my prediction is that the game is going to be reviewed well by the most people, the masses. I think you will still have that quote number of people just being like, "Oh, this game's bad," but just because they're purists.
Yeah.
But what I tell purists, if you want to play your FF7 remake, play the original. You'll be all right. Put some mods on that bitch. Yeah. That's what I'm like. You'll be fine. Like you want the original FF7 and you want to play like the original FF7, play the original FF7.
mm-hmm.
Like if you still love the original Final Fantasy VII, like
Yeah, it's
play
not
the original
hindering
then.
at
No way,
all.
it's not hindering. Like, because the thing is, well, I don't get. Some people are like, I wanted to play like I want to play exactly the same as the original Final Fantasy VII, but with those graphics. And I'm thinking that's a waste of that production.
Yeah, it is.
That is a waste to see the people just standing there and all this beautiful stuff. Like, oh man, like that's not what I want from this game. I want some action in there. You know what I mean? More, um, a little bit of exploration, which I did want to get into
Mm-hmm.
a little bit with you and talk about. Is the game like? How do you feel the game is gonna play exploration wise? Do you think it'll be semi open world, or do you think it'll be fairly linear?
That's where I've been thinking about too, in like patches in my mind. Like,
Mm-hmm.
is it because I don't think they can do like Final Fantasy 15. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna be that.
No,
It's not gonna be
they
that at
can't.
all.
I think the next game's gonna be like that.
Like what the part two or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, because there's a point in the game where like you break out of Midgard and
Yeah,
that's
and
when
you
you get
get
to
to
the
the
open world part
overworld.
of the game. Yes. So
Yeah,
I think the next game will be like that, but this game, I mean, I think it'll be semi open world.
yeah. I think I would strive to say leaning towards what you're saying because,
Hmm.
like you said, Midgar area. Which to how long do you think the Midgar section is in the original? Like it's not really that long. Like maybe like it's seven. It's
No,
maybe up to about 6, 7 tops. Like if I'm thinking about it right. If you're you know what I'm
I'm
saying,
thinking
if you're
right.
getting
Yeah,
through
because I
it.
think because after you rescue, it goes up to where you rescue Red 13. I'm with you. I want to say that too. I want to say that too.
From what I
Around six,
remember,
7.
um, so yeah, I'm leaning towards what you're thinking because, like you said, there's no overworld map at that area, but
Right.
there's probably gonna be a lot more side quests, more people to talk to. You know, there's probably gonna be a little more detail. Like they've shown the cross dressing scene. You know what I mean? Like all
Yeah,
those
which I'm hyped
situations.
for that. Well,
So,
that was my biggest thing. I didn't want them to cut out the cross dressing scene.
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean, just because of the climate of the world and everything like that right now. I thought maybe they would take it out, which I was gonna be pretty bummed about. But they put it in there, and that's what I love because
Yeah,
FF7 is goofy.
yeah, it
FF7
is.
is
It
goofy.
really
Like
is.
there's some goofy shit in there.
Even yeah, especially like enemies and stuff, which I don't think
Yeah,
from the trailers that we've been shown, I don't think they really shown too many of those, or if at all. But I don't know if you can remember or not. You know what I'm saying? Like the big
like too
ass
many of
like
the goofy enemy. They
yeah.
showed. It might have been in the final trailer. They showed that that house. There's like some house
Mm-hmm.
enemy you can fight.
Yeah.
They showed that, but that's about the only like goofy enemy I could see. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Like the enemies was goofy as hell too. Like FF7 was a game that had comedy in it too. Like everybody thinks it's this dark emo game, and everybody
Yeah.
thinks Cloud's like emo. Um,
Yeah, he's really
which
just kind of like not just
he
doesn't care. Like
Yeah, he's just nonchalant. Well, the thing about Cloud being emo kind of came from how Advent Children painted him.
yeah. It's
When
been a
that
while
movie
since
came
I
out.
watched it.
Yeah, that's when it got like that. But Cloud starts off as like maybe you could say he starts off emo, but as the game progresses, like Cloud becomes he's just like a laid back dude. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
"Nah, I mean, I can do this.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's in
sure."
this situation. Like, let's just get out of
Yeah,
it.
and there's a point in the game too. I think I saw it in one of the trailers where Cloud is like rescuing Jess, and Jess is like, "Wow, that was pretty cool." And Cloud, like, he kind of like smiles, you know what I mean? Like he
Mm-hmm.
kind of like, "Yeah," you know what I mean? So it's like shit like that. I'm glad they still keeping it like that, and keeping that same type of energy with the game as well. I think they're doing more right with the game than wrong. I can't find
Yeah.
anything wrong that they're doing with the game from what I've seen and from what I've played.
Yeah, I think what's gonna be a big thing for me in being invested in the game, which
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the gameplay, the battle system, I'm hype about that after, going through it again and seeing
Mm-hmm.
what they're trying to do with it because I have an impatient mind, so I'm fine with turn based, you know what I'm saying, but it's not that.
Yeah.
So I want to be able to get through some stuff without being like, okay, another enemy. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
feel like fighting enemies in this is gonna be like a thrilling thing.
It's gonna be
But
fun.
is that gonna match up with the expansion of the world that they put into this more linear space? You know what I mean? Like how are they gonna
Right.
bring that
Right.
energy at the same time? Because you don't want to feel like I just got out this hectic battle and then I'm just gonna talk to
Yep.
somebody for a long ass time, or here's a long ass Final Fantasy cutscene. You know what I'm saying? And kind of drain the energy out. You know what I mean? Like how are they gonna keep that
Yep.
level in there? Like is that
Yeah.
something you've thought about really?
I've definitely thought about that in terms of like, because the way that this first game is gonna play compared to the second game is like it has to be played way differently. Because if I'm thinking right, it goes up to Red 13. Yeah, right after you rescue Red 13 is when you leave Midgard and do the
Yeah.
open world. So the second game's gonna do the open world part, and they have to. I mean, they got to make a whole new game.
It's like
Like, I'm
and
just thinking about it. I'm like, the combat and everything could be the same, of course. That's fine.
mm-hmm.
But think about how like how you go about interacting with enemies and stuff like that. Like, I'd have to like it's
Yeah,
not gonna
what
work the
that what's
same
that
because you're in a
traversal gonna be like?
yeah.
Are we
Because like you
gonna
said,
no
go
keep
ahead.
going. No, keep going, keep going.
Like you said, we're in a more linear space
Mm-hmm.
with this game. So encountering enemies was like, okay, I'm walking through the hall. Shit, you know, a soldier came out or an enemy came out. How's that gonna work with the open world in the next game?
Yeah, is it
I
gonna
mean,
be
like,
more like 15 or 12 and stuff like
right,
that?
right, right. And I would lean towards that's probably it. It'll probably be more like 15. Um, because 15 is really like trying to think of all the Final Fantasies. 15, I think, is really like the first like main line Final Fantasy title that had just like pure action.
Yeah,
Like it wasn't like turn based or nothing. I'm thinking there was 14, there was 13 that wasn't really pure action. Yeah.
yeah, and then
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
in my mind, I'm thinking like, of course, Kingdom Hearts, you can see the enemies, but even in Crisis Core 2, if I'm not
Mm-hmm.
mistaken, you can see the enemies in that too.
Yeah.
Like it's not a pop up out of nowhere thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be an issue. It's more so gonna be like a how do you get around them if you don't want to fight them and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Or how are they gonna balance out that action?
Yeah. Because I want to say they're gonna do it more towards like 15 as because 15 is probably gonna be their template for how as far as they're gonna do like how the enemies work and how the open world works. I see it. I don't see why they wouldn't use 15 as a template though, because 15 had a really good open world
Yeah,
and good combat. People mainly just didn't like the story, but the combat and everything was good, and the open world was good for 15. So I would say it'll lean more towards being something like that, probably. But that's gonna be man. There's a lot of stuff in Final Fantasy VII in the open world to do
mm-hmm.
in the original than there is in 15. So they have their work cut out for them
Yeah, that's a really good point. That's a really good point.
because they got to do a bunch of stuff. They got to do all the Easter eggs, all the little tidbit, little cutscenes you could
Mm-hmm.
trigger. You know what I mean? Like, they got to do all that stuff. So Square, you got your work cut out for you, Square. I ain't even gonna hold you.
Yeah, and I wonder, because we know we're gonna be able to play with Aerith and Tifa in this one.
Yeah.
I'm wondering how far in it are they gonna get them into the game? Like, you know, saying with them showing Sephiroth early, with them showing Shinra
Hmm.
kind of heavier and everything like that. Are we gonna be waiting longer to get to them, or are we gonna be, you know what I'm saying, or is it gonna kind of be in the first 5 hours? You know what I'm saying, like,
Right.
cause that's gonna be kind of weird.
I think I honestly think it'll still be around the same length as the original. We get like first 5 hours, like you said, for Tifa and Eris. I definitely think we'll get them within the first 5 hours. Um, because I think the stuff with Sephiroth, seeing him and stuff, I think he might just pop up as little like cameos and shit and like
Yeah, like a
cutscenes.
dream or some shit.
Yeah, yeah. Like I think he'll just pop up in cutscenes here and there because the thing about with the Sephiroth we're seeing, this is like this isn't even like the real Sephiroth that we're seeing. It's like a it's like a projection
Yeah.
or something like that, like a clone. Because the real Sephiroth is like holed up in, I want to say, the northern crater. I want to say he's holed up in there, like just in like ice, in this isolation thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just using the Genova cells to kind of create this clone of himself to go around and do what he has to do. So I think that they'll still have him pop up in cutscenes. I don't think it'll affect too much of the time of when we get to play as Cloud, Aeris, and
Tifa.
Cloud, Aeris, Tifa, Barrett, as all them. Well, Cloud and Barrett will have, but Aeris and Tifa will be okay. And then
Yeah.
Red 13, he won't be playable in this game.
Yeah, and I was a little disappointed in that, but I'm
I
just
was a
like,
little
well,
bummed.
but
Yeah.
at the same time, like you said, with the way the story paces out in the original, it kind of makes sense. I wonder, you know what I'm saying? And that's even
Yeah.
like, how are they going to bring him earlier, you know what I'm saying? Or is it going to be like damn near in the last few hours? You know what I mean? How
It's
are they going to
it's gonna
work
be
him
in the
in there?
last few. It's gonna be in the last few for sure for Red 13, because they were saying the reason why he's not playable is because like they wanted to, so the game, the ending part of the game is when you really even get introduced to Red 13. Um, so they were saying that, because every character has their own play style, unique play style. And they were saying like to give Red 13 like the unique play style he deserves, he won't be playable in this game. He'll just be like AI controlled, along with your party. And in the second game, you know what I mean, he'll probably be playable, and stuff like that. It,
Mm-hmm.
it it bummed me out, but at the same time, I understood, because I was like, for the way that his first game is, when we see Red 13 and all that stuff, the game is pretty much about to be over.
Yeah. That's true. That's very true.
So it was like, okay. Which also makes me think like, what's gonna go on? Is there post game content? Like,
Mm-hmm.
what's gonna go on with that? Or do we just play the game and it's just like,
Yeah, new game
that's
plus or something like
yeah, new
that,
game
or
plus something. You know what I mean? Like, I definitely think that they need to do post game content and new game plus. I think they need to do both. If you're
you
gonna be
think?
splitting this game up like that, you better give us post game content and a new game plus to go with.
Mm-hmm. Because this could be one of those situations, in my opinion, where if
Mm-hmm.
they do it right and it's a solid 25, 30 hours, I don't see why people would complain. You know, in my mind,
Yeah.
if they,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, if they're really if they're really doing what they're talking about with having more things to do within
Right.
like that story, I think we'll be fine. Because I think DLC, I mean, that DLC is what it is in the community now, but I feel like that's almost kind of like hindering the goodwill that we're kind of seeing right now, in my opinion. Like,
Yes.
I think
Yes.
adding in some, because it almost could end up being like fluff, you know what I'm saying? Or
Mm-hmm.
so I don't really want to feel like there's something there to play, but is it really necessary? Is it adding on to
Yep.
anything? You know what I mean? So
Yep.
what would that even really mean? So I think I'm good on something like that, honestly.
Yeah.
If it's
Same.
not if it's
100%.
not canon to an extent, so I'm cool.
Correct. 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 I'm cooling off that. I'm cooling off that. Man, we got today's Saturday. I was recording this, so
Yeah, less than a week,
we
man.
close. We got less than a week till this game releases, man. I'm hype. I'm ready. I'm telling everybody, I'm getting it digital because all this coronavirus
Yeah,
stuff
man,
going
me
on. I
too.
ain't messing around and getting a physical copy or get it delivered and it's late. Or
Yeah,
or I
man.
end up getting a physical and you know what I'm saying, nigga got COVID on it or something like that.
Yeah, man.
And
It's
I touch it.
digital sales is about to be nuts, man, with these games this year. That's for
Oh, the
sure.
digital sales is about to go crazy. And the games for Final Fantasy VII Remake are probably about to go crazy too, because you got before all this quarantine happened, you got people who's gonna get the game regardless. They was already about to
Mm-hmm.
make a buttload of money. Now you got people bored at the house.
Exactly.
Man, let me see what this Final Fantasy VII talking about.
And as much as like, and that was something I meant to say earlier, because back in the
Mhm.
day, Final Fantasy was like definitely like the first RPG that I knew of
Yeah,
that was like really hyped up like that. And they're kind of, when you talked about, are they looking for like that revolution again? That's kind of where You are right, I feel like, because they are promoting it pretty heavy. You know what I'm saying? For
Yeah. Uh-huh.
especially even in this age where people ain't watching TV like that. But if you a gamer, you online, you gonna see them 4 or 5 trailers they put out. And
Yep.
it's not like
Yep.
they some BS trailers either. Like they showing you
No.
some stuff. So
It's some good ass trailers. It's some good I would say these are I'll have to rank them, but the best video game trailer to me was the Final Fantasy VII 15 Omen trailer. For everyone listening, if you haven't seen that trailer, check it out. Final Fantasy 15 Omen trailer. I've watched that trailer like a bajillion times. I watched it like a couple months ago, and this is way after the game release. I watched the trailer like, damn, this trailer good. But the trailers for this Final Fantasy VII game might be second place.
You think? Okay.
They're really good.
Yeah, I'm about to go back and watch that, man. Square Enix is good with them trailers, bro, for real.
Yes.
You got anything else? Any thoughts, man?
No, man, just be ready. Be ready for Final Fantasy VII Remake. It's about to be the thing. Willie, if you streaming FF7 Remake, be sure to, you know what I'm saying, check out my guy Willie
Yeah,
streaming
man, I'm
that
gonna
Final
be on
Fantasy
there.
7 because he gonna be going in raw with saying play the originals. He's going in raw and he going in 100% blind, no to expect. So check that out. But other than that, man, that's it. So
Hey, I can dig it, man. I appreciate you talking with me, brother.
no problem.
JayEsper TV, YouTube, Twitch. Check him out. I'm 4 Eyes Malone, Jordan, Willie. I got like 4 different names. I got to choose one. It's Black Nerd Planet, man. YouTube, Twitch, all that stuff, man. Patreon, Facebook, whatever the hell. There's a lot of stuff on the internet. If you made it this far, appreciate it, man. Like, subscribe, comment, both the pages. I'm going to drop these links. And on that note, man, peace.